Welcome back inside the Langley Event Center. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp with you. It's the nightcap from the blue group. It's Israel. It's Team USA. This is the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships on Lax Sports Network and TFSETV.ca. Both these two teams dominated last night by their opposition. Iroquois beating up on Israel 17-6, and Canada rolling over the USA 16-6. So an important game in the standings here on night two for the Blue Division. You have to think both these two squads, Steven, are going to be in tough against the Iroquois, and this being a rematch of the 2015 gold medal game in this round robin could mean a lot to who's going to be third and who's going to be fourth at the end of the round robin. Yeah,
the 2015 bronze medal game, of course. It's the U.S. won 15-4 over Israel in that game, and that was a blowout. There's been a lot of change. There are actually 16 players from that 2015 U.S. team that are gone, that are not back with this team. A bunch of new guys, including some guys like Tom Schreiber was going to be a huge part of this. He's not here. Ethan O'Connor was going to be a huge part. He's not here. Both of them suffering injuries.
8 returning players for Israel, 7 for Team USA. We saw the U.S. start goaltender David Mather last night. He was chased after allowing 6 early against Team Canada. Goa Abrams came in, filled in admirably the rest of the way. He's going to get the start as expected here tonight for Team USA. And for the Israelites, Tendy Bears, Zach Higgins. They'll have to ride Zach Higgins tonight if they want to get a chance to beat Team USA. We've seen Zach Higgins come of age in the last few years. This is his second World Championship. It starts and ends really in net for Team Israel.
Yeah, I mean, they've got great athletes. They really do have a stronger team that's worked very hard, has come together well. But if they are going to have a chance to beat this U.S. team, they need Zach Higgins to play well. He's finally getting a chance as a starter in the National Lacrosse League, traded for by the Philadelphia Wings, picking him up from Buffalo. And he would love nothing better than to have another strong performance from them here.
The U.S. got in lots of penalty trouble last night against Team Canada. Reggie Thorpe mentioned post-game that's something they had to clean up if they want to be successful in this tournament. We'll see if they can do that tonight. Trevor Baptiste will take the bulk of the face-offs and should have a dominating performance tonight after basically going 50-50 with Jake Withers last night for Team Canada.
Doug Redding got up on Withers immediately, or on Baptiste immediately after that draw. And Ian Kadish actually looked like he'd won the draw, but was called for a clamp. They are very much enforcing a draw out, a pull out, not a clamp on the face-offs.
Team USA with their white on white with some silver striping tonight. Team Israel in the baby blues with the white moving right to left on your computer monitor this evening. If you get at us tonight on Twitter, I'm at Brad Chal, CHALL Steven, at Stamplax. Any questions during out the game, let us know, as Paul is going to get a touch for Team Israel. Like berries, but there's a man in the crease behind the play. No, we're going to get an interference call.
Yeah.
Illegal pick call. Tough break for Team Israel. As a nice shot by Paul from the outside, almost had them up. But back to the way we go with the U.S.
The whistle went immediately. The ref was ready to make that call. He clearly was preparing to make the call before that shot went in, as Paul ripped one from the outside that got by Abrams.
Joey Reziteritz will look to get some touches tonight after being locked down last night against the Canadians, but Adam Osika is going to get on the board first for Team USA. It's 1-0 on a nice roll towards the net.
Interesting, Adam Osika playing up front. He was not even originally on the team that was named, and here he takes the nice pass and a really quick release, getting the ball from Kieran McCardle. Osika came in when Ethan O'Connor was scratched from the tournament with injury that he suffered in the Major Series Lacrosse Championship Series. So, and he's right back out on the ball team.
Osika he set a nice pick and created some separation with his defender to roll to the net. Baptiste going to get called on procedure here, so Israel will try to answer back, trailing 1-0 a minute 8 seconds into this contest.
Israel really doesn't want to fall behind. That's so that you don't want to let a gap go, because the U.S. can taste the blood and they can pull away. You got to stay close.
One big run can kill you in a game like this, in a tournament like this. So they need an answer for everything, as Bach will take it. He'll look drive towards that. Osika playing D will keep him to the outside and draw a penalty on the play on the way through those. Osika, who scores the goal, is now going to head to the penalty box, getting on the back of Bach.
See, a full night already for Adam Osika, and I thought it was they're calling it, check from behind. We'll see it as Bach cuts underneath. There's Osika. Jeez. I'm not sure I would call that a check from behind.
Yeah, we've seen a few softer calls, we'll say, in this tournament so far, more than what we're used to seeing, of course, in the NLL or Canadian Summer Lacrosse, as a shot from the outside stings the legs of captain Joel White and ends up in the corner from Adam Wolf. Deckelbaum bobbles the pass. White will knock him down. No interference call. As Bergman recovers the loose ball from the point. Chetner fires one. That one's blocked. Wolf will throw it towards the net. And Abrams has his third save of the night.
And I like that no call. That's a good loose ball battle. Straight on, straight up, face-to-face hit.
Israel gets it back on the power play.
That's a little high there for Gale Thorpe trying to run in transition. It just tipped off the top of his stick.
Jean-Luc Chetner did not score in game one after leading this Israel team in goals and points at the 2017 European Championship. He from Penticton, British Columbia, 4 hours southeast of where we are right now. A shot by Wolf, blocked by Abrams. Loose ball on the doorstep. Joel White with that patented one-arm power cradle up the floor. Headmans it out of the gate, short-handed, stopped by Higgins.
And the U.S. had a defender heading for the change box as that shot was being taken. They were really trying to push it, and you can see them trying to spring Joe Reziteritz, and it worked. He was just turned aside.
Semish put it right in the breadbasket of Joel White, but Paul's going to come up with a loose ball, charge in, ends up in the corner, still on the power play for 27 seconds. If Bergman can come up with this loose, and we're going to get a slashing call.
But Greg Downing is heading off, alternate captain, and I think one of the more underrated players in lacrosse, in the National Lacrosse League. I think at times a top 10 defender in the NLL. So solid, quick, and let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah.
One-handed.
One-hand swing gets up into the face. Nothing really egregious, but definite contact to the face.
That'll get you two. So 5-on-3, and pretty much have to score here if you're Israel. Obviously early, but you have to take advantage of these 5-on-3 gimmies, and Bergman does just that. Floats it far side high, 1-1.
Bergman, such a strong shooter, drops that stick down. You talk about Jean-Luc Chetner with 24 goals, 17 assists in the Euros in Turku, Finland in 2017. Bergman, not that far behind with 17 goals, 11 assists. He plays regularly with Gold Star Tel Aviv at the Ales Srebeski Memorial Tournament, plays for Israel at the E-Box in the spring in Prague the week beforehand. And he's such a solid shooter, very quick release, and a really nice ability to change the angle, change the plane of the head, and find different spots to go after.
Played his university at Drexel, and looks good in a pair of shoveralls.
Swoveralls.
Swoveralls?
Yeah, swoveralls. Yeah.
Sweatpant coveralls. So he's a fashion.
He's a top 30 under 30 entrepreneur guy.
He's got a great stick and a great head of lettuce, and he's got his Israel team on the board. It's 1-1. Still on the power play for another minute 21. As that one sails over the head of Bergman, he recovers off the far glass. Wolf will fire. That one hit the stick of Joel White.
Yeah, they're saying over and back, so I guess they're saying it didn't hit the stick. The 30 was going to expire anyway.
Israel argues a little bit, but no sense. America has the ball shorthanded with the shot clock running here for a minute 15. Reziteritz, Blaze Reardon, Kieran McCardle. Reardon and McCardle both with hat-tricks last night. The only two goal scorers for the U.S. against Canada as Reardon will roll in, tries to go upstairs, and Zach Higgins will make the save.
Higgins has looked really sharp after that early goal, which is great news for Israel as they try and stay in tight here.
Reziteritz being watched by Flapin as they work it around the outside, trying to kill off the rest of this penalty to Greg Downing. Reziteritz, I mentioned, was locked off pretty much all night against Canada. We'll see if he can get some time and room to let off that cannon, but it's a feed to Reardon, who buries shorthanded 2-1 as he gets that big body down on the doorstep and gives the States the lead.
Doesn't look like quite as big a body when he's up against Tim Semish, the former NFL tight end, or at least practice squad tight end. But you can see he gets a beat, gets a step ahead. Semish was on Reardon the whole time, and this will be a great angle to see just that little bit of separation. Semish is right there. The stick is almost on top of Reardon, but Reardon does a great job of getting his stick out in front to look for the pass, and it's hit perfectly on the assist.
Yeah, that's a tough angle for a left-hander who's caught on that righty side of the crease, but able to switch the hands around and get a decent look. And we're going to get another penalty in front of the U.S. bench. I think we're going to get coincidental here.
Yeah, Jacob Silberlich, the captain for Israel, number 77, who's a Israeli military guy and just a rock-solid player. And Joel White actually kind of tapped his fellow captain, Silberlich, and said, oh, no, you go over to this one, and then realized he was heading for the wrong box to figure out where they're going.
So the two captains will cancel each other out. It was Silberlich taking exception to a slash from White on another teammate. So the two captains, heart and soul guys, will come together.
And White with just a little bit of a headlock.
And we'll have 5-on-5 lacrosse here. Actually, it'll be 5-on-4 from their 16 seconds till Downing's out, and then 5-on-5.
Yeah, Go Abrams is over near the bench. I thought he might go to the bench, get that extra attacker out. Then when the player comes out of the box, the goalie, he can just run to the bench. The goalie can go back. It saves you a few seconds, but they're not going to bother. They're just going to let Downing come out and join the attack for a shift.
Resiteritz, Emila, Downing, going to hang out on Oak. Kieran McCardle trying to get around Cantor. Takes it to the righty side. That's off of the head of Resiteritz stick, almost out of play.
Emila and Resiteritz getting a chance to develop some chemistry as teammates with the New England Black Wolves, where they're really high on Davey Emila. Just the gritty game and the do anything you ask for approach that he takes.
Israel in possession, back to 5-on-5. Bergman looking to get inside, fires, and Abrams will fall down on top of that one, looking for the outlet pass. 4 American bodies looking for that pass. Now they'll go off and get a change in, as Downing will hand it off. All black, everything in his weapon, looking mean. As Osika will move it to the far side. Joe Resiteritz, Blaze Reardon. Back to Osika, 10 on the shot clock. He had top side high, and he dishes far side to Joe Resiteritz. Resiteritz has the lane, he'll fire. And they're gonna say that one went wide of the net. And Israel will look up the floor.
Interesting to see Adam Osika playing some fairly regular shifts up front. I think you mentioned already, Connor Kelly and Matt Rambo, the big lefty for the U.S., both busy with PLL commitments. So Osika draws in up front.
They'll hope to join the team in a couple days here, as the U.S. will play the Iroquois tomorrow, the late game, 7:30 p.m. from the Arena Bowl. And they've got a day off before their Tuesday nighter against England to wrap up round robin play. As Udding will chase Resiteritz to the rack and draw a penalty again. I think everything on the back early in this game, Stephen, is ending up as a 2-minuter.
Yeah, it's Doug Udding's going to go to the box. He was actually involved in the play last night that was a little controversial, as Tim Semich went into the goaltender and wound up getting kicked out of the game. Udding ran in. He doesn't like that call, but it's very similar to the call at the other end. So we're seeing consistency, which is the main thing you ask for as a player. This looks very much, I don't think that's a really hard check.
But you're right, it's exactly the same as the one that happened before. So
yeah,
at least they know, they're getting the message right now, stay off the back.
Yeah. And that could be a point of emphasis arising from last night, because Semich got a bit of a check in the back that drove him into the goalie. I don't think he tried to avoid the goalie, but what a rip.
What a snipe by Cody Razowitz, who goes short side high on Higgins on the power play. That didn't take long. From the point, they work it around. A few of the guys get a touch, and Razowitz will just let one rip from top center.
So we talked about how, Rambo and Kelly are going to be missed, but so far, Osika and Radzowitz did a pretty nice job filling in.
Well, and that's big for the U.S., who only got production, as mentioned, from 2 players last night in Reardon and McCardle. So a few different bodies getting in on the action early in this one. And as mentioned, next goal, Israel will want to answer back and stop this run at a couple.
They lost Joe Resiteritz there and got a bit of a break that he missed the net.
Say that's off an Israel stick, so the U.S. will keep it. McCardle to Resiteritz, being watched by Fishman, pick set by Kelly. Big body, they're going to say that's moving, and Israel head up the floor. Kelly saunters to the bench. Israel looking for the fast break opportunity is Silberlich. Goes back to Fisher. Jean-Luc Chetner will wear 66 in baby blue. Looking for a pass in the middle, and that one's knocked down and grabbed onto by Taylor Stewart of the Colorado Mammoth in the NLL. He'll leg it up to Downing, another former Mammoth player. He's bumped hard by Chetner, takes a spill, and Israel's up the floor in transition. Fisher's got Chetner far side. Fisher still has it. Gets it back to Deckelbaum, plays it in deep to Chetner. Late man on the floor is Wolf. Deckelbaum lets one go and is stopped by Abrams.
Nice loose ball by Zach Paul. And, you talked about Jean-Luc Chetner being the leading scorer at the Euros 2 years ago. He played a lot of transition for Maple Ridge this year and is very good at it, very aware defensively.
That was another touch on the back by Chris O'Doherty. Is going to result in two as a dunk from behind the net. Deckelbaum loses his stick but buries, and it's going to count as he goes up and over Goa Abrams, air gate style, 3-2.
Daniel Deckelbaum is such an athletic player. He's a big fella, but he can elevate. You see him take off here and just hammer this shot home on the delayed penalty.
Former Delaware Blue Hen as we await the replay. I don't know if we're going to get it. You have to get another look at a pretty goal like that.
Let's tee that up when we get a shot because that was beautiful.
Deckelbaum stands out with the red shaft on his stick. 3 Israeli players up the floor trying to get a fast break, but they cut back. 3-2 the score, Team USA. Shots on goal 7-6 in favor of Israel. We have just under 6 to go in the first quarter. Day 2 of the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. Both these teams looking for their first win of the tournament.
And right there you see Doug Udding coming up on Joel White, and you can see the message getting through as he was very careful as he was on the back of White to not get too much pressure.
Resiterit's bumped by Silberlecht as he plays it in deep. Emila, far side. Reared in, quick pass, tap in from Kelly.
Wow.
Nice backdoor cut. And he goes down low on Higgins, makes it 4-2.
And that really was a tap in, as you say. We talk about that kind of goal, and this is just, this barely touches his stick. You can see Kelly setting up on the backside, kind of sealing, and then just steps away from the pick.
Not known for his silky mitts, the defender, but nice hands on the doorstep by the veteran Kelly.
He did kind of bang it as opposed to, it was kind of a power.
Cross-checked it in.
Yeah, more of a power quick stick than a finesse one.
And he'll take it. It's a guy who's been around for a long time. As Resiteritz will drive. Osika, McCardle serving, takes a pick, and rolling through the middle, and that was a nice opportunity there, but Taylor Stewart couldn't bring in the pass.
Might have heard some footsteps. Big Andrew Kruder was coming across on the slide and ready to lay the lumber, and Stewart may have sensed that.
Now, it's one thing that Brad MacArthur's put together here at this Israel team is some size and athleticism on that back end, and these guys are not afraid to lay the hammer down.
You talked about the importance of response. Israel scored about a minute and a half after the U.S. had gone up 3-1. Then less than a minute later is that Anthony Kelly goal by the U.S.
Just to plant that seed of doubt. As Deckelbaum, who had the last Israel goal, will go across the floor to Bach, to Bergman.
The U.S. defense really spreading out wide when Israel's opening their sets.
Lots of room on the floor here as Chetner's inside and he'll snipe and bury. Gets to a dirty spot. That floor is spread apart by the defenders, and Chetner is able to find himself open in the middle and fires it high as he spins on Abrams. It's 4-3.
Boy, we watched Curtis Dixon earlier in the day scoring some big goals or some similar goals for Canada as Chetner just spins. And I talked about in the previous game how important it is to have an idea what you're going to do with the ball before it gets there. And if we get a chance to look at this, well, I think he was really prepared to know what he was going to do, and he makes it happen.
Off the face-off, Paul. Abrams snuck in a piece of it, no reset, and that's a big off ball bump that results in nothing.
Bergman looked like he took a huge hit and then just popped up, settled the helmet, and he's good to go. But yeah, that was a big bump.
Cleaned up by Busick. Israel still has it as Bergman goes across to Paul. Has to tuck underneath his man, spin, 6 on the shot clock. Wolf, far side behind the net again, trying to tuck it in as Chetner, and this time Abrams backs into his pipes and keeps it on the right side of the line. U.S. in transition, on the run. Busick fires wide of the net.
Oh, great hustle coming across by Matthew Flapan.
Flapan knocks the stick out of the hands of Tim Edwards. Now he is in transition. Chetner again waiting for the pass.
Bit of a force, but it works out okay as Chetner hustles to pick it up with Taylor Stewart all over him.
Yeah, loose ball possession has been big here for Israel in this first quarter as Wolf will get a look. Has to tuck underneath his man. Pick set by Fisher. He rolls through the middle to the outside. Deckelbaum fires. That one will sting Greg Downing. Caught up in his armpit as he shakes that one loose. Back to the way we go. 3:06 to go, first quarter, 4-3 Team USA. Shots on goal, 9-8 Israel. Resiteritz, McCardle shot blocked, picked up by Fishman, or Flapan rather, as he brings it up the floor. Shot from the outside, stick save by Abrams.
Snuck through though, just rolled a little bit wide.
Reared in, doubled. That's a nice slash on the hands, and he'll slow down and wait for help. Jean-Luc Chetner's hanging up deep in the offensive zone, so Joel White has to hang with him. We'll go 4-on-4 up on the U.S. offense.
Nice two-man defense by Kadish and Udding. Udding just jumping on Gale Thorpe as he tried to receive that pass.
Chetner will stay out there. He's got a motor. As Adam Wolf will bring it in. Wolf being watched by Stewart, goes to Bergman. Moves it to Deckelbaum. Far side back to Wolf, 9 on the shot clock. Wolf cutting through the middle is Chetner. He drops the pass. Downing comes up with it. 4 white jerseys head up the floor. Downing poked from behind by Bach. And then he pokes it ahead to Taylor Stewart. Lots of poking going on. As a hot shot from Joe Resiteritz bounces it top shelf on the run. 5-3.
Kevin Harper trying to get across on the slide to pick him up. Not sure whose responsibility that was to have Resiteritz coming in, but whoever it was did not get him. And Stewart almost casually just tosses that one across. And Resiteritz, you can't put that on Zach Higgins because that is a wide open look for the first man, the first U.S.-born player to ever score 100 points in an NLL season.
That was Flapan chasing him. We're getting an interference call off that loose ball. So Israel ball down by 2, minute 36 to go first quarter. In an entertaining first quarter as we go back and forth.
I think the kind of game we were expecting.
Yeah, there's been a lot of blowouts in this tournament so far.
Yeah.
You can keep one close. It's entertaining for the players, the fans, broadcasters alike. Serbia had another close one today with the Netherlands. Netherlands defeat Ireland last night in what was called an upset, and then Serbia turns around and beats the Netherlands today by a pair of goals in a big fourth quarter comeback as the States on the run again.
An 8-1 run by Serbia to finish that one off. 5 different players scoring 2 goals each for the Serbs.
Yeah, well-rounded offense there as Rannigan goes off for a change. Gale Thorpe will thread it to McCardle. Resiteritz back to McCardle. Delayed call coming up. 6-on-5 as Thorpe will fire. And Higgins will squeeze that one. And the U.S. power play will go to work.
Gale Thorpe selected earlier this week. Here's the penalty at the other end. We'll see what happens. I guess it's behind the play along the boards there. That's when the hand went up. I didn't really see what it was. But yeah, Thorpe selected 33rd overall by, you guessed it, the New York Riptide, where his father Reggie, the coach of the U.S., is the head coach and GM.
McCardle back to Thorpe. Blaze Reardon on the crease. Emila and Resiteritz. So that shot is stopped by Higgins. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Applebaum will carry it across center. Deckelbaum there to help. Applebaum still has it. Shot clock and game clock pretty much identical here. They want to squeeze Higgins to the bench for one quick shot here. 12 seconds on the clock. Higgins will stay. And they'll just keep it. As Deckelbaum will move in. 5 seconds left. Pushed into the corner. Bergman has it. He's running to the wall hard as he spins and shoots. And there's going to be 2 or maybe 5.
Oh, it's a boarding call. So we'll see. Interesting that Israel didn't elect to pull the goalie, just like England last game didn't when they're shorthanded at the end of the period, and could have pulled them to make it even. But it'll be interesting to see. They're discussing, which usually means they're deciding between a 2 and a 5.
It's going to Joel White. He's part of the conversation.
I think it's Brannigan.
We'll find out when we come back. 15 minutes in the book. Shots on goal deadlocked at 11. The USA with a 5-3 lead on top of Israel. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp with you on day 2 of the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships right here on the Lax Sports Network and TFSETV.ca. Second quarter about to get underway here from the Langley Event Center. Team USA up 5-3 on Israel. Just 2 minutes on the board for John Rannigan. We thought it might have been a 5 for boarding, but it'll just be 2. And another minute and 11 seconds left in the Israel penalty. So 4-on-4 and then a very abbreviated Israel power play as Silberlich picks up the loose ball off the draw. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp with you on Twitter at BradChal, CHALL, and at StampLax. Let us know where you're watching from. Questions, comments, concerns. Hopefully no concerns yet. As Deckelbaum had a beautiful goal earlier. Find that highlight at Lax Sportsnet. Dunk from behind the net with that red weapon of his. He swims through a double, still has the ball, fires, and that one bounces wide. And it's carried up the floor by the captain, Joel White. Out of the gate is McCardle. White will hang on, stings McCardle with the shot, though. McCardle jumps up to grab the loose ball and keep the ball with Team USA.
Lax Sportsnet reminding us that Davey Emelin, not just playing for USA, he's also an analyst at LSN.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of guys doing double duty. Kevin Hill, who's an assistant coach with Team Iroquois, turns out to be their third-string goaltender in the absence of Angus Goodleaf, who we hear is coming out to support the Iroquois. Not going to dress this weekend, but will be here for support, and that's huge for Angus Goodleaf and his family and friends.
Oh, that was a terrifying moment. I was calling that game when he collapsed, and that was the hardest game to call in my life.
Well, we're
great to see that
glad
he's okay.
He's able to get on a plane and be here. As Jean-Luc Chetner will thread a pass behind the net for Bergman. Ended up off the glass and behind Goa Abrams. So back to the way it come to the U.S., Brett Manny. As they're now shorthanded for 26 seconds, but they have the ball and a chance to pretty much kill this whole abbreviated power play.
Yeah, all but 2 seconds, but then, wow, great hustle play by Applebaum to come out and knock that away from Kieran McCardle, who was caught napping a bit.
Chetner flings it far side, as Paul was thinking he was going to the crease before he caught that ball.
Well, if he had, I was going to say, if he had and the ball stopped, John Rannigan would have been off on a breakaway. Maybe good for him that he didn't catch it.
We're going to get a too many men call here on
the U.S.
Yeah,
going right back to it.
Right back to the power play for Israel. And a golden chance to get within one. Have to take advantage in games like this. You're going to get power play opportunities against a team that's historically had your number. Got to capitalize right here.
Yeah, very important, and we talked about how important it is for Israel to stay close. They were within 6-4 of the Iroquois last night around halftime, and then the Iroquois really turned things on. And this U.S. offense obviously doesn't have that explosiveness that the Iroquois team does, but they can put goals in, and they can go on a run, so it'll be important. And now they have to send somebody over. The U.S. has to send a player to serve this penalty.
They're in home. Listed as number 2, Jake Lazor, but he's a goaltender.
Who's the third goalie? Now, you know what? I bet you that's Jake Lazor. He's dressed. He actually dressed as a runner in a game at the President's Cup, and he played defense. And when you think about it, okay, Rambo, Kelly,
right, they're missing a couple bodies,
they're missing
so
3 players, and they have to dress him to have enough guys.
Oh, short-handed Joel White, rather. Just brings that up out of the floor. And second short-handed goal of the night for Team USA. So rewarding their coach who called out their discipline last night. And they're going to get some penalties, but this is just a lazy pickup and a quick whistle that Joel White just runs onto on a bad change.
Very athletic play, diving through the air, nice body control to be able to get that shot off. And just to complete that thought, there's 23 players on each roster. They can dress 20, and so that means you've got to sit 3. If they have 3 guys away for the PLL games, that means Jake Lazor would have to dress to give them the full complement, because otherwise your goalie is just sitting. So you dress him to serve as the in-home for situations like that. But they must have an extra number 2 runner jersey, because I don't think he's wearing his goalie jersey without the goalie gear.
Ressa Terrence tries to get a pass across the floor to Gale Thorpe. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Shot is blocked. And Applebaum letting Cody Razowitz know where he's at. Deckelbaum to Bergman to Wolf. Everyone gets a touch here on the Israel power play. Skips it down. Deckelbaum. Back to Bergman. Far side Wolf. Down to the crease. Back to Wolf. Bergman. Shoots. Scores! Man, can he snipe. Bergman's got his second of the night at 6-4.
The more you watch Kyle Bergman, the more you appreciate the way that this guy can shoot. You said it, man, can he snipe. Changes the head, the plane of the head again. You'll see kind of a 3/4 shot here. Not the true dead overhand, not the sidearm, just kind of in between, and finds his spot, whatever angle he needs to hit the spot that he's going for.
Yeah, not a lot of wind up, not a lot of time to take to shoot that ball. Quick release, and we've seen him score sidearm and subber from the outside the last night and tonight.
It's kind of like the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch. Not a big windup, but a lot on it.
Yeah, but able to get some heat on it without much of a windup. It's a nice shot. They're within 2. Shots on goal, 12-12. 11-10 to go, second quarter.
Wow.
And there's a tap in by Gale Thorpe. Nice skip pass across the zone from Ressa Terrence. And the States answer back just to stay on top enough right now, 7-4.
So quick the responses we've been seeing from the U.S. in this game. And what a pass, and again, speaking of quick, just barely touching the stick of Gale Thorpe in perfect position, set up right on the crease, right foot on the goal line, and just taps it home. Very similar to the shot that Anthony Kelly put in. Of course, there Thorpe was set as Kelly was running, but still the perfect pass placement, perfect finish.
And Reardon scored a goal like that last night for Team USA, so definitely a play that they're keeping an eye on. Ressa Terrence plays it in deep for Kieran McCardle, trying to find some floor space. Defender out to challenge Ressa Terrence. Anthony Kelly creates some separation. Ressa Terrence backing away, back to Kelly. Outside shot clock winding down. He'll scoop it behind the net. Nice defensive stand as the U.S. runs out of time.
That was 2 big men with Anthony Kelly and Tim Semish banging and colliding in that Israel zone.
Israel back the other way. Jean-Luc Chetner. Shot stopped by Abrams. Oh, that trickled through his feet, but stayed on the right side of the line for Team USA. Now on the run. Out of the gate, Thorpe. Make that. Osika takes the shot, kicked into the corner. Loose ball picked up by Israel. 10 seconds to get across center.
What a nice pass by Tim Edwards, eh? Just as he's on the run, the perfect timing on the touch pass.
Interference called with the ball in their stick for Team Israel, as O'Doherty was dumped by Kruder.
O'Doherty, one of the returning American players and a long-time veteran of this club, and what a leader and what a warrior he's been for the Americans.
Yeah, missed the entire NLL season and back in fine form. That's good news for the Vancouver Warriors, who missed him on the back end this past season, as McCardle will fire one with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Easy save, no rebound from Zach Higgins. And back the other way we go. Fishman being watched by Joel White as Harper tries to get through the middle. Flings it far side, hard shot, and Abrams got just enough of it to give the reset, but the U.S. will run on to a loose ball. Cody Razowitz, far side, shot and a goal. Ranagan on the run, 8-4.
I hope somebody got a shot of him up on the boards there after the beautiful goal. Adam Fishman went in after the shot, just grazed Goa Abrams at the other end. He just overran it. That led to the ball coming out to Razowitz, the perfect pass, and Ranagan. I mean, this is, again, a lovely pass. We're seeing a lot of nice diagonal passes and just perfect placement from Ranagan.
Ranagan all smiles as he thanks Cody Razowitz for the feed. Baptiste, procedure call again off the draw.
Yeah, Ian Kadish having a little trouble with the clamp rule. We've seen a couple of those, 2 or 3 so far.
Resiteritz. And that one's going to be waved off in the crease as Emila crashed in and got a piece of Higgins.
And no argument from the U.S. bench.
Higgins will adjust the pipes, and back the other way we go. Semic puts it right in the basket of Taylor Stewart, but recovers. He'll stay on. Deckelbaum tries to take O'Doherty out of the play. Chetner still has it. Delayed penalty coming up to the U.S. It's going to go to Taylor Stewart.
Yeah, holding call. Tim Semic, the big former NFL tight end we talked about, signed with the San Diego Seals. And that's a very interesting experiment. He's a good player, a bit raw, but lots of potential. And is it just me, or would it also be cool if they were to sign Jake Seau, the son of Junior Seau, just graduated from college and again missed some time with injury, but a very interesting prospect.
If anybody can mold a raw defender, chisel away at the rock and create a marble masterpiece, it would be Bill Greer and Patrick Merrill.
Yeah.
They're in the right hands, and a nice mix of Ontario defenders that they picked up in the draft can balance out that back end for them. As the Seals look to build something special after a successful year one as an NLL expansion team.
So successful that they almost got away from the expansion team expectations as the season went on. You kind of forgot they're an expansion team. They were just competitive.
The first time they rolled into Vancouver, it was almost like we weren't even selling it as an expansion team. It was just new jerseys to see. But the way that roster was constructed and the guys behind that bench, there was nothing expansion about that squad.
Interesting mix is Patrick Merrill, the kind of quietly fiery leader as the head coach, and Bill Greer just quiet. I mean, he's such a good teacher and such a laid-back guy, but such an effective coach for that defense, as you talked about.
And Josh Sanderson, one of the best offensive players of all time, is Deckelbaum. Trucks a shot towards the net. It's knocked aside by Downing. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 8-4 Team USA.
Yeah, Israel didn't realize that the 30 had expired. They heard the buzzer but thought the shot had gone before the 30 expired. It had not, so U.S. gets it. No delay of game because they really didn't know.
Resiteritz, far side, Osika, Gail Thorpe. Penalty coming up as a stick breaks from an Israel defender. The Silverlicht. As that shot is stuffed into the armpit of Zach Higgins, and Silverlicht will take a seat.
Interesting in the earlier game, the Canada versus England game, I believe it was. Or it was the Slovakia-Czech game where Dennis English, I think it was, broke his stick during a play. As he was running off, he actually picked up one of the halves of the stick, and it was a pretty broad spread at that point, so they didn't call him. They just said, drop that stick. Surprising that a player at this level would pick that up. You got to realize you can't play. You can't carry a broken stick.
That turns into a weapon when it's broken in half. To the power play we go. Team USA. up by 4. The rest of Terrence will quarterback. Thorpe, Reardon, Kelly, Emila, and Razowitz. And that ball is just floated into the middle of the floor, and it's run up back the other way by the Baby Blues. Udding, Applebaum will jump up for that one, try to kill some time off the clock.
May have been a bit of a force by Doug Udding. I like the idea, but not sure the lane was there, but he's bailed out by his teammate going up high to get the ball.
Chetner picked up in the expansion draft in the NLL by the New York Riptide will bounce that one in shorthanded. Behind the goal line, throws it off the backside of Goa Abrams, and the shorty gets Israel within 3.
Chetner, such control of the stick, throws on the brakes, reaches the head of the stick out above the goal line while his feet are, as you said, both below it. We'll have a great angle here if he's within the picture. Yeah, you just see the ball coming from slightly ahead of the goal line.
It just kind of goes off the side of the kneecap off Abrams and in.
That was surprising. I mean, obviously not much angle whatsoever. That's a huge goal for Israel.
Shorthanded, gets him within 3, 5:30 to go in the half.
Returns
Chetner's
the favor to Joel White.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chetner's first of the tournament. Still on the power play for 51 seconds. Razowitz, Resiteritz back to Reardon. Skip pass intended for Thorpe. And interference called on Israel's Kevin Harper. Resiteritz again. Emila, far side Reardon. Good ball movement here. That one rung off the post. You could hear it from Washington. Shot clock reset. Still on the power play for 25 seconds here. Razowitz. Resiteritz winding up. Reardon. Resiteritz. Thorpe. That one's blocked. Swatted at. Reardon grabs it. Still in the hands of the States. Resiteritz will fire. And Higgins hangs onto that one. It looks like Israel will get out of this penalty unscathed and up a goal.
Semish with the ball, and it's, we mentioned he's fairly raw, still working on his box lacrosse game, but I was impressed with the way he's staying out of the vision, the sight lines of Zach Higgins, taking away a shooting lane or a passing lane, but not getting in Higgins' vision lane. Pretty adept for such a big guy to be aware of that and not get in the way.
Higgins sees it, he swallows it, and back the other way is Israel. Jean-Luc Chetner skips it across, shot right in the gut of Goa Abrams. 4:02 to go in the first half, as Downing cradles out of his own zone. Pass up the floor to Tim Edwards of the Buffalo Bandits as he moves it in deep. Kieran McCardle has to get a step. Resiteritz, time, space, money in the bank. Rolls it across the turf. 5-hole from Joey Rez, and it's 9-5.
I think that's one that Zach Higgins would like to have back as Resiteritz just reaches around the defender, lets it rip. We'll see. Yeah, you can see the little gap as Higgins went down. It just didn't get his stick and his leg together, and Resiteritz found the spot perfectly.
3:40 to go first half. Greg, make that Trevor Baptiste. Wins another draw. White attacked hard. That's to just throw it behind him blindly. It's picked off, and now a double sandwich on Israel, who goes down.
I was looking for a hand. I thought Busek had a couple of slashes on the player down on the floor, which is usually an automatic penalty. It's getting chippy and aggressive out there.
And you see Joel White pouncing on that ball early on the whistle again. Israel almost sitting back and waiting for the play to start. You cannot wait. And another goal, this time coming from Connor Busek from the outside.
And that's such an important element there, as you said. Joel White jumps on the loose ball, ready to go, takes off, and pushes it deep and looks back up, forces the defenders to turn their heads, and Busek fires before they can get turned back around.
Shots on goal 21-16 by Team USA. They started to pull ahead a little bit here. Baptiste, easy win. And he'll run away from trouble. Chetner gets a piece of the stick. That ball will poke over to McCardle. Ball bouncing for Joe Resetaritz. As we hear some Go Israel chants below us.
They've been chanting for a good chunk of this game. It's just getting louder, I think, at this point. They're kind of a bit more to my side.
Their team needs it now. They're down by 5, their biggest hole of the night, so the cheering section gets a little louder.
Kevin Harper picked up that loose ball and goes, but not with the aggressiveness or assertiveness that we've seen from Joel White and the Americans. Got to push that.
Chetner gets top center, moves it, shot. Abrams knocks that one away with the glove. And Taylor Stewart, who wears number 68 for Team USA, will get it ahead for Kelly. Tried to scoop it to Reardon, who wasn't there. Reardon back to Gale Thorpe. He'll pick up the loose ball. 16 on the shot clock for Thorpe, gets around Cantor. Back to Taylor Stewart, to Resetaritz. That pass knocked aside by Deckelbaum. Now in the hands of Reardon, and saved by Higgins.
Quick release again, and Higgins had to be sharp to get that one off of Reardon.
That was a nice save. As back the other way comes Israel, down by 5, under 2 to go first half. Fishman, the Chetner, number 68 in baby blue. Fights his way to the inside of the floor, moves it. Shot from the outside, and that one stopped by Abrams. Taylor Stewart, Jean-Luc Chetner, both wearing number 68, teammates with the junior Adnax and good friends off the floor. Also, Challen Rogers wearing 68 in this tournament for Team Canada, was on that Minto Cup winning team with Chetner. So sensing a bit of a
intriguing,
maybe to be sort of an inside joke about 68, maybe Yager fans.
I was going to say, it's a Yager fest. Wow, what a spin check as Cody Radzewicz just sends Applebaum flipping through the crease.
Got to thank Slimbo for that nugget. He spotted the number situation. Twister from the doorstep. That one's stopped by Zach Higgins, and here comes Israel up the floor under a minute to go.
I hadn't thought about the connection. I was noticing a lot of 68s.
And Tyler Pace with the Calgary Roughnecks wears 68, so another
thing.
guy was on those teams. Coquitlam, Minto Cup 20, or Challen Rogers didn't win the Minto, but was with
played the Minto
Pace
though.
and Chetner, and
2016
they all played
Six
together.
Nations.
Taylor Stewart too.
Mike Messenger was on that team. They were a pair of fine young defenders. Well, that would have been 2014, I guess, in Six Nations, I think. I have to go back through my Minto Cup history.
They played in a few. And Rogers and Messenger were together in 13 in New Westminster.
The one in Six Nations, I was calling, and Christian Del Bianco was a young goaltender, just making his name at that point.
Reardon, Resetaritz, what a save by Higgins, as Thorpe was celebrating already.
Wow.
But Higgins robs Gale Thorpe as the first half comes to an end. An entertaining one, too. 10-5.
That is a fun half of lacrosse. I think Israel's going to be a little disappointed that they let the U.S. pull out quite that far.
But they're still in this lacrosse game. There's a lot to go. It was a big first half for Iroquois and Israel a couple nights ago, or last night rather. And then Israel really had a quiet second half. If they find a way to play with the heart and passion that they have for this next 30, they're going to give U.S. a run for their money. Within reach after 30. It's Team USA 10, Israel 5. 30 minutes in the books from the Langley Event Center. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp with you. This is the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships on Lax Sports Network and TFSETV.ca. Back in 10 to break down the second half from the LEC. Second half action on your nightcap game on day 2 of the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp with you. Team USA 10-5 lead on Israel. Joel Resetaritz with 2 goals. Joel White with 2 goals. And 6 other goal scorers for Team USA as they're getting a well-rounded attack tonight. Resetaritz looking for his hat trick. He's hammered down. And Zach Higgins will calmly play the ball up the floor to Applebaum.
For Israel, Jean-Luc Chetner and Kyle Bergman with a pair each. 4 assists for Adam Wolf, quietly having himself quite a night.
Athleticism and gas in the tank going to be huge here for Team Israel in the second half. They ran out of steam against the Iroquois, and the longer Zach Higgins can keep them in tight in this one and keep running and try to get some transition against Team USA, they could be sitting pretty good here in half number 2. And Higgins, all the confidence in the world after that brilliant save on Thorpe at the buzzer.
And Goa Abrams does the goalie sit and look back, the sit and spin. The ball was still in front of him on that last play at the other end.
And Abrams has looked pretty good. He's rewarding that starting position that he got tonight after coming in relief of Dave Mather last night.
How critical would that be for the U.S. as they hunt to try and improve on this bronze medal they've won in every Worlds? To get a goalie, that's been one of the big issues for them. To get a goalie, if it's Abrams, who steps up and they feel confident is the guy who can lead them.
It's massive, especially in this tournament where we're hearing Doug Jamieson, who went down last night, might be a little more injured than the Iroquois are probably hoping, and that means it's going to be Warren Hill backed up, I believe, by Kevin Hill the rest of the way. That could be a good news for Team USA.
Post to post and out on that shot by Israel, and the U.S. gets it and comes back the other direction.
Greg Downing to Emila, plays it in deep to Resiteritz. Kieran McCardle hasn't scored yet tonight. He had a hattie last night against the Canucks. As Resiteritz being watched by Udding. Drive low, cuts back, pass to McCardle, fake, shoots, and Higgins will swat that one away. Now McCardle on the forecheck, Strix Applebaum. Loose ball battle, 2 baby blues and 1 white jersey. And Gale Thorpe is going to come up with this loose ball. Great effort by Thorpe. Couple bodies change for Team USA as they fling it far side to Resiteritz with a fresh clock and almost 3 minutes gone in quarter 3. McCardle stripped by Cantor. Ball picked up by Thorpe. He'll look, he'll pass to a cutting Resiteritz. Higgins swats that one away with his stick. Loose ball battle up for grabs again. This one's going to come up with Israel.
Doug Udding just kicked that ball just slightly ahead to himself so he could go and grab it with his stick and run it over center.
Hard forecheck by Razowitz as Bach will finally bring it across. Taylor Stewart waits for him. Deckelbaum will play it in deep for Bergman. Both those two have scored tonight, as has Jean-Luc Chetner. Bach. Bergman looking for a cut, but he runs into Manny. Nice timed slide there by 13.
Good point you're bringing up. All 5 Israel goals from the left side.
Resiteritz, hat trick. Dip and dunk on the doorstep. It's 11-5 Team USA.
Great pass by Taylor Stewart to hit Resiteritz, streaming in off the bench.
It's a good look.
Yeah, takes it a little sidearm. Resiteritz slightly reaching behind him, but that actually gets him turned up towards the top of the crease, and he takes it, his momentum with him, just reaches, slides it back across the other way.
Been a few transition goals like that for Team USA tonight. We'll see if Brad MacArthur can make some adjustments on how Israel gets to the bench and changes.
U.S. came out in transition early in the game, and Israel seemed to find a way to slow them down for a while partway through the game, but the U.S. getting it going again. You mentioned Brad MacArthur. We talked about Reggie Thorpe, of course, the head coaches for these teams. Old Rochester Nighthawks teammates, a couple of big, tough defenders back in the day with the Nighthawks. Bergman will go down into the corner. Chetner's going to slow it down a bit as they complete a slow change, but he's looking for a chance to get into the middle. Bergman trying to open something up. Chetner rips it, and the stop by Abrams. It rolls to Bergman, but just gets away from him.
2 guys still hanging out deep down the floor. And Israel will get a reset here, 10:26 to go in quarter number 3. As Wolf will look, Paul will pinball his way to the middle of the floor, try to create some damage. As Deckelbaum looks, back to Paul, gets the middle of the floor, had Wolf, shot goes wide, and that one's grabbed by Taylor Stewart, and he'll look up the floor, runs into a nice pry check here by Wolf though. No holding call, though the American bench wants one.
That was pretty close. Wouldn't have argued against it if we got one.
And they get away unscathed. As Amala goes to Kieran McCardle with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Late setup here by Team USA. Gale Thorpe will scoop it, tries to swim to the inside to McCardle. Recitere's time, space, pass down to Gale Thorpe, and shot clock will expire on Team USA.
I think that hard shot fake by Joe Reciteres may have sold Gale Thorpe. I think he was looking to look for a rebound instead of the pass.
Especially that late in the shot clock. I think he probably thought that was going to go off.
Yeah.
As Bach will move it far side to Deckelbaum. Israel, the 4th seed here this year, their first time in the blue division after making it to that bronze medal game against Team USA in 2015.
Eric Fisher zipped in there, almost scooped that loose ball out of the crease and was able to flick it back in, but Abrams just got it away from him.
Semish will encroach in on Blaze Reardon as the ball now being watched by Semish, moves it in deep to Kieran McCardle. Reardon rolls to the net, McCardle back to Osika, far side, Reciteres! Again! 4th of the night. It's 12-5.
Reciteres so deadly when he's got some space, and I mean, he's evolved into such a dangerous player. And you can see McCardle, who's had a solid passing game, gets it to Osika. And Osika stepping in on the front line with Matt Rambo away, and boy, he is looking absolutely at home.
He really is. That's some nice vision. And Israel starting to fall behind now here in the second half. Have not scored yet. Actually scored 1 goal in this half so far.
I know you were right. It was 10-5 at the half, right? So it's just the 2 goals for the U.S.
They haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
Shots on goal 29-22 for Team USA. And Israel will need the next one to keep this a game. As Udding watches his man, Reardon tries to get inside. 3 defenders stand guard on top of the crease as Zach Higgins.
Remember you pointing out fairly early in the game that at a couple points the shots on goal were tied or within a shot when the U.S. was up by a couple of goals, but they've really kind of taken control of this game, and that is going to be a penalty.
Silberlich taken for a hard ride. He's been getting under people's skin tonight, but Busick will ride him down to the turf here at the Langley Event Center.
Yeah, you see the one-arm hook, gets it around. And now what Busick's arguing is that Silberlich grabbed on, hooked on with his arm to the stick of Busick. And you know what? You watch the replay on plays like that, and yeah, there's definitely something to that. But I still think it's a penalty.
Yeah,
but
ref's behind them. Yeah. They're running away from the ref.
Yeah.
Tough to see for the ref, but that there's going to be 2 minutes there.
Definitely see Busick's point.
Power play, Israel. Chetner fires. Abrams got a piece of that. It's off the rafters here. Oh, Abrams didn't get a piece of it. They're going to say it's off the turf and out of play. Oh, Taylor Stewart will run it out, and the States have 1:40 to kill. 30-second shot clock will run here.
Taylor Stewart almost had a conversation with the bench about whether he should stay out or not. He did, ultimately.
Grabs a loose ball at center, keeps it onside for Team USA. 3 seconds on the shot clock, chucked into the stick of Higgins, and Israel will set up on the power play again for 1:14.
Yeah, Davey Emila was 1-on-5 there as the rest of the U.S. team had gone to change and get the defenders out. Make sure the penalty kill unit was ready to go.
Chetner will regroup and reset. Goes to Adam Wolf. Back to Chetner at the point. Motion starts. Deckelbaum to Wolf. Back to Deckelbaum. He'll fire. That one stings Greg Downing as Manny scoops it up to Downing. He's got one man to beat, but he's going to run it into safety. Or will he? Downing, stutter step, spinning towards the net. He's stripped by Wolf. Still battling for that loose ball, though, as he gets on Chetner's back.
It's amazing how hard a guy will fight for a loose ball after he's made maybe a questionable decision to go to the net and lost the ball.
Yeah, you got to redeem yourself. Got to redeem yourself.
Boy, what a pass by Brett Manny at the other end with a player all over him. The one-hand shovel to get it ahead.
One-handed scoop, gets enough on it, and Downing was up the floor. 24 seconds on the power for Israel. Chetner, Wolf. Back to Chetner, winds up, pass into the stick of Joel White. Good at picking them off. White will turn his back and run away with this loose ball. And this is going to be a successful kill for Team USA. As John Ranigan puts on the brakes, and he stripped that center turnover.
Yeah, he just threw that pass behind a player, and it just bounced right out of the box into the Israel Israel bench.
5-on-5, 5:50 to go.
Sounds like you enjoy it as much as I do when numbers align in a game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the word for it is with what do you call alliteration? It's alliteration when it lines up like that. It's numbers alliteration. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yes.
Israel will get a penalty now. Team USA will roll back to the man advantage. Reardon, Thorpe, McCardle at the point with Resiteritz and Emila playing the righty crease. McCardle will quarterback. Thorpe to McCardle. Resiteritz has 4 on the night. He locks off his man. McCardle winds up down to the crease. Back to Resiteritz. Bit of a sub shot low to high. That's Higgins stops. Now a loose ball in the middle of the turf here. Good battle for it. And Blaze Reardon will gobble it up and a fresh reset for the power play. Resiteritz says slow down. Reardon back to the point to McCardle. Everyone getting a touch. Emila looking. Semish putting all of his body in front of the net right now. Shot from Reardon off the bean of Higgins. Semish after the loose ball. 2 bodies quick to attack him and try to knock the ball free.
We've seen Semish and Reardon battling all night, and they continue there. Semish all the time is on Blaze Reardon. Doing a pretty decent job so far, although Reardon got that ball back for the U.S.
And Reardon quick to get on that forecheck. I think sometimes with those big bodies, we talked about Tyson Rowe last game, and guys like Semish, there's a nice snipe by McCardle, his first of the night. Comes in pretty fashion from the point on the power, 13-5. But Semish, yeah, he's a big body defender, but when he picks that loose ball behind the net, Reardon's all over his hands. Sometimes it's easy to chop a ball free from the mitts of someone that size.
McCardle with 4 assists tonight coming into that play. As you said, the first goal, and what a rip from the outside. He has such a heavy shot.
Twists his body into that one, gives it his all. 34 shots on goal for Team USA. Saw Canada get up into the high 60s earlier. They had, I think, 51 in the first half.
Yeah, it's right around the 49 or 51 because you're asking if they might get to 100.
And then they really slowed it down in the second half.
They were pulling out on transition chances.
Now Wolf to Deckelbaum. To Paul. He'll wind up. He'll fire. Abrams will stop that one. Scooped up the floor. In front of Ranigan, who has a goal tonight. O'Doherty's behind the play. O'Doherty fires. Ranigan on the doorstep. Deking behind the back shot. Doesn't make its way through.
Nice athleticism by the former high school basketball star. And he's a member of his high school's Sports Hall of Fame, Brett Manny.
Bach will slow play down. Go across the floor to Deckelbaum. Bergman. Takes a whack from Lazor, moves it to Bach. He'll crash the crease, gets a toe in, and the ball goes to Team USA with 3:34 to go.
Jake Lazor getting rewarded with some shifts on defense as he was dressed with a few Americans away to serve as the in-home, getting to go out and play.
Team USA at it tomorrow against the Iroquois at 7:30 p.m. West Coast time here in the Arena Bowl. Israel will play England tomorrow at 4:30 right here in the Arena Bowl. You and Brandon Assel on the call for those two from the big stage tomorrow night.
The play-by-play for those ones. Looking forward to that. It's having a great time. My first time calling games with you, and looking forward to getting together with Brandon tomorrow.
Israel in possession, 2:42 to go, down by 8 goals.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Israel's got 6 guys on the floor still.
You can just count them out. So too many men in the offensive zone for Israel. They're going to sit down. And the States go back to the power play with 2:37 to go in the frame.
Took a little bit. That's one of those ones where the ref looks and kind of just has a sense something's going on. It has to actually sit there and count. I did the same. You're like, wait, that's a lot of blue shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there we go.
And then you're right. And the arm goes up, and away you go. Back to the power. Same look. Thorpe, Reardon, McCardle, Resiteritz, and Emila. McCardle, nice pass down to Emila. Hit the post, and Higgins hangs onto it. As Semish will toss it up the floor to Applebaum.
A lot of big guys on that penalty kill, with Semish being huge and Daniel Applebaum, a big guy. Jacob Silberlich, not quite as tall, but rock solid.
Yeah, they're matching these other teams size-wise. See how much energy they can bring into the late stage of this game.
Late in the 30, Deckelbaum tries to go solo between a pair of defenders and just gets spun and stripped.
Trevor Baptiste getting a little bit more defense time here in the third quarter rather than just facing off and getting off. He gets some reps. Reardon on the power play. Shot by Thorpe goes wide. Back to Resiteritz. Reardon. Resiteritz pass to Thorpe. They're looking for that cross-floor skip. And Silberlich read it well. Now Semish will bring it up the floor.
It makes sense to get Baptiste and Lazor out there for some defensive shifts when you've got 3 games in 3 nights. Give some of the guys a bit of a rest, especially, Israel is a big physical team, as we've talked about.
Long tournament, big game tomorrow night. Chetner killing this final 28 seconds. Splits the double, triple comes over as Baptiste gets in and gets a penalty.
Yeah, that's a high stick right in the face. Illegal cross-check is the call.
He knew it right away. He kind of put his hands up and, sorry, that came up high.
You'll see it coming from the right of the screen,
third
right there.
Come over and clipped him right in the chin.
Yeah, nothing vicious, but no question he got the stick right into the grill.
Shaves the chin beard of Chetner. And 56 seconds left in the frame. 20 seconds of 4-on-4, and then an Israel power play. Deckelbaum to Paul. Behind the net to Deckelbaum as they look for that opportunity again. Wolf will chuck it in.
The righties finally get on the board for Israel, and it was a pass attempting to go behind the net to Deckelbaum, who's cutting back there looking for another dunk opportunity perhaps, and instead it ricochets straight out to Wolf, who steps in and floats one home.
Yeah, it was a lucky bounce and right where Wolf wanted it. Off the turf and right into the hands of Wolf. 13-6, that's a 4-on-4 goal. Power play still to come here for Israel in 5 seconds.
Right, good timing for Israel to get it before, of course, their penalty expires, so it won't affect the power play. Now they'll have possession with Kadish winning the draw as Baptiste is in the penalty box.
Across the floor to Paul, 2-on-2. Now Taylor Stewart gets back. He's seen a lot of floor tonight, both ends of it.
Paul looked like he was seriously thinking about taking that shot. I don't think they wanted him to get that one, to fire that one when they're bringing the power play out.
5-on-4, final shot of the third quarter. Wolf, Bergman winds up, fires right in the chest of Abrams. He'll look up the floor. And Team USA at center, Joe Resiteritz with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to Reardon. That's off the chin of Silberlich, but that'll do it for 3 quarters. 7-goal hole for Israel, down 13-6 to Team USA through 3 quarters. This is the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships from the Langley Events Center on Lax Sports Network and TFSETV.ca. Fourth and final quarter from the Langley Events Center here, and final quarter of the night here on day 2 of the WILC. Brad Challoner and Steven Stamp at Brad Chal at Stamp Lax. Where are you watching from What have you been impressed with, not so impressed with tonight out of Team USA and Team Israel? We'll see how much fight Israel has left in this final 15 minutes. Down by 7, trailing in the shot department 38-25.
Israel setting up on the power play after Brett Manning had some pressure on him, had to just dump that ball down the length of the floor.
On the power for just 24 more seconds. See if they can get a shot off here. Chetner pass behind the net. Bergman tries to go dunk. And Abrams read that one well and just backed himself into the net.
Very calmly Abrams going across to the post to take that one away. No sense of panic or rush. Just get there and get on your post.
Yeah, he's one of those goalies that makes everything look real calm. Baptiste out of the box. 5-on-5 we go. Reardon tries to get free. Arrested here. It's Reardon high, hard overhand. And Higgins stops his Philadelphia Wings teammate.
Yeah, goes post to post very quickly to make that save.
Quite a few Wings in this game tonight. A couple Vancouver Warriors as well. As Bach will walk in, fire one, kick stop Abrams. Rebound gobbled up by Team USA. Chris O'Doherty out of Kinnelon, New Jersey will bring it up the floor. Shot, and well, that one squeaked through. Higgins falls down on it. Keeps it on the right side of the line, still 13-6.
And that is way down in the equipment. He is still digging in his leg pad to pull that one out.
Chetner across to Wolf. Pick set by Paul. Wolf rolling, looking, trying to find Chetner. Back across the floor. Paul, nice stop by Abrams. That will bounce into the corner. Paul comes up with it. Stewart on him, still has it over to Chetner. Sub shot buries. The Penticton pistol fires one home. Hat-trick for Jean-Luc Chetner. 13-7.
I had not heard him referred to as a Penticton pistol before. Did you just coin that?
You haven't been watching enough Maple Ridge Burrards or Vancouver Warriors games, my friend.
There you go.
He didn't score a lot in the NLL season, so I didn't get to use it a lot, unfortunately. But I've hung on to the pistol for a while.
Okay.
Jean-Luc Chetner, who was the offensive leader for this Israel team of the 2017 Worlds, is their leader here tonight with a hat trick. Down by 6 now with 12:38 to go. Fisher and Paul pick up the assists. Shots on goal 40-28 now for Team USA. As they look for that skip pass across the zone again, Osika puts it in the chest of Zach Higgins. And back the other way comes Semish. To the goal scorer, Jean-Luc Chetner. Chetner pushed to the outside by Manny, goes across the floor, winding up, shooting, rebound off the post. And Chetner waiting for the bouncing ball, but it's scooped up. And Taylor Stewart's gone on a breakaway. Taylor Stewart all alone, Dake shoots! And Higgins stands up to the breakaway by Taylor Stewart.
Nice save by Higgins, just throw that chicken wing out.
Chetner tried to play a little possum, but good read by Adam Osika, who knew that loose ball was behind him and turned that into a transition opportunity. You can't wait for a loose ball. You got to go towards the loose ball. Now the U.S. with numbers through the middle with speed up high, and Higgins makes the stop on Tim Edwards.
Jake Lazor gets to handle the ball on one of his defensive shifts, coming up in the offensive zone for a moment.
So Lazor, the third-string goaltender who's playing out of the back gate. Blaise Reardon, who just won the PLL Goaltender of the Year award for Chaos, has a handful of goals here in this tournament so far for Team USA. Guys getting it done all over the floor.
Little powder blue collision there, or the baby blue, I guess we're calling it.
Yeah, I would hate to see Israel play Finland. That could get confusing for everybody.
Actually, it looks pretty good because, you know, the blues and the whites. And Oh!
Beautiful shot. Deckelbaum low to high. A man draped on him. He still lets the hammer drop. And it's 13-8 with lots of lacrosse left to go.
It's like the hammer of Thor, the way Daniel Deckelbaum uses his power. Fighting off the check, just drags himself away from the check by Busick and rips that one home.
He's got a strong body, fights for his floor space. And Deckelbaum's definitely been one of the offensive bright spots for Team Israel so far. Last night and tonight.
The combo of power and finesse. Lovely thing to see.
Loose ball off the draw, won by Israel and Silberlich. And Israel back on offense after scoring.
3 straight goals now for Israel.
Yeah,
They're
a bit of a
creeping
run
back
here,
in.
chipping away here. That one floats into the hands of Abrams. Tim Edwards.
It's important not just to try and come back and win this game, but even if you don't, we've talked about it, this is a possible bronze medal preview. You want to have the confidence if you're going into that game.
And Israel wants to stay in this division. They don't want to get bumped down. This is their first year up in blue. And they've hung with the Iroquois. They're hanging with USA here tonight. They've got a good chance to beat England and stay in this division. Delayed penalty coming up to Israel. This won't help their chances. That ball sails past the feet of Gail Thorpe. Abrams to the bench. U.S. still with the ball. 6-on-5 for 5 seconds. Recitaire is looking for a backdoor cut from Reardon. And penalty to Team Israel.
Yeah, it's holding the stick. As I believe it was Blaze Reardon had the stick ripped right out of his hands. You know, Czech Republic was bumped from the blue group in the 2015 Worlds. England is trying to hang on to their spot. You can see right there, Reardon is going to lose his stick. And players trying to act innocent after that, but Matthew Flapan was left holding the stick and just dropped it. And tried to be like, no, I wasn't holding it, but it was fairly clear.
Czechs have played a good game so far this tournament. Oh, there's a nice outside rip by McCardle.
He is heating up.
Yeah, he really is. That's a lefty shot deep over on the righty side of the floor, who stings that shot short side, sidearm. That is a wicked rip here from McCardle. Watch this.
Yeah, and I mean, he actually turns it into his far side by going on the offside.
Yeah, so technically he's short side, but he's on the righty side, far side for the lefty. Like, that is a tough angle.
Yeah.
McCardle made it look easy.
Drops the head of the stick, ton of power, combined with the accuracy.
14-8 with 9 minutes to go.
Boy, nice draw by Kadish to win the faceoff, get it immediately ahead to Chetner. They have to slow it down, but they are set in the offensive zone. And they've got Baptiste out there.
Yeah, see if they can goad him into another penalties. Wolf's been on him looking for a little tap in. This one's poked out by Stewart. Stewart going to come up with it. Chetner has to retreat back to greet his old Junior A teammate with the Coquitlam Adanacs, Taylor Stewart. Recitaire, 4 goals tonight. McCardle with 2, flips it to Osika. Back to McCardle, 10 seconds on the shot clock. All alone on the doorstep, hands for days. Gail Thorpe with a couple fakes makes it 15-8.
I thought that whole sequence, the Israel defense looked a little confused, a little out of sorts, like they weren't quite clear on their positioning, on who they had. You can just see some of the rotation just not looking really sharp, and then Thorpe all alone for so long. Adam Fishman gets over there eventually. You can see Fishman on the far side with his man. Not sure. I don't think that was his guy, Gail Thorpe. He just came to try and help. But
good ball. That's what good ball movement is going to do. The State's swinging the ball really well, and Israel just loses track of, like you said, their assignments and ends up in the back of the net. Now in transition off the draw, Paul can't bring it in.
Great chance, and those are the plays we've seen the U.S. making, those diagonal passes to set up the feeds, and they just couldn't connect. Flapan to Paul.
Ranigan hits the turf monster near center. Ball goes to Israel. Deckelbaum with Wolf. That one bounces off the post into the hands of Ranagid again, who runs out of the floor, greets a forecheck at center from Chetner, and hands off to the offense. 7:27 to go.
U.S. players just jumping all over the floor to catch those passes, a sequence of them.
Reared into McCardle, back to Reciter. It's winding up, shooting, tried to wrap it far side. Higgins gets in front of it. Now Deckelbaum up the floor to Chetner. 2-on-2. Deckelbaum trailing. Chetner wraps it around Stewart, and Abrams makes the stop. Back the other way comes Baptiste. And Tim Edwards puts on the brakes. Goes to Reciter.
Chetner stayed up the floor, so his fellow 68, Taylor Stewart, will stay with him. We go 4-on-4 in this zone.
Those two friends off the floor, catching up behind the play.
They are having a little chat.
Pass into the middle, intended for Razowitz, goes nowhere. Now Higgins swallows it. Chetner's going to hang up, catch his breath, and that gives Taylor Stewart a chance to catch his as well. Semish will play it out of the gate. Winding up from the outside. Outside shot is blocked by Paul. That's Chris O'Doherty. Semish to Kadish. Kadish ahead to Fishman. Kadish sets a pick. Fishman looks, hits Deckelbaum at the point. Far side to Wolf, shifty feet from Wolf. Look for a pass inside. We're getting a moving pick called on Kadish, who's getting into it with Lazor. Back to the way comes Team USA. 5:49 to go. As Connor Busick gets away from trouble, hands off to the O.
Jake Lazor, goalie, defender, antagonist.
Almost goal scorer earlier too. Had his opportunities. Applebaum to Silverlick. Jean-Luc Chetner tries to one-on-one beat Baptiste, tries a sharp angle shot again, and that one almost beat Abrams.
Abrams just getting it with the leg. It was kind of dangling above the goal line there for a bit, and he sort of kicked it out.
Just waiting for a lucky bounce or a roll the other way for Chetner. Now Reciter's barking out orders, wants Emla to pop out. Emla again fakes a shot, back to Razowitz, far side to Kieran McCardle. That one's knocked down, pass inside for Osika, and he'll run out of time. Better defensive shift by Israel there. Udding. To the point to Paul. Sidestepping into the offensive zone. Back over to Bergman, who's had a couple nice goals tonight. Now airborne quick stick from Paul stays out. And they're going to say he's through the crease to the loose ball, so it's USA ball.
Doug Udding staying out for some offensive shifts for Israel, much as Adam Osika has been for the U.S. And Udding is just a wrecking ball when he goes out there. He's banging around, crashing into everyone, setting picks.
And he's a guy who's done a little bit of everything for this team the last 2 days.
He actually does have the hands to play some decent offense as well.
Moving pick called, or interference called rather, on Israel. USA ball, Razowitz. Under 4 minutes to go here, 15-8 Team USA. As Semish just takes up so much floor. Behind the back shot by Thorpe, ends up in the stick of Higgins. And Israel will have another push up the floor. Semish to Chetner. Bergman out there with them. Chetner goes far side. Shot, goal, Bach. Nice low shot to beat Abrams, 15-9.
Isaac Bach steps around the pick and just goes sidearm, and a perfect placement using the defender as a screen. There's the pick from Wolf. Here you'll see it, number 3, Wolf. There's one pick. There's the re-pick. Great play by Adam Wolf on that one.
Yeah, nice space for Bach to let that go. A nice shot.
Wolf a goal and 5 assists. Also some great off-ball play, and then Bach getting on the board for the first time tonight.
So with Chetner's hat trick, got a few different goal scorers for Team Israel tonight, and that'll feel good to spread the offense around. Team USA can say the same thing. Now they're just 2 goal scorers last night against Canada. McCardle. Kelly, he's got a goal tonight and has 2. That one powers through Higgins from the outside. Kelly with a pair, 16-9.
And the American forward's pretty stoked about that one. Blaze Reardon says, come on in, guys, huddle up, and they all will give a big group hug. And this is just a long outside shot from Kelly that Higgins, we saw Abrams earlier spin and pounce, and that time Higgins did it just a bit late.
Yeah, not a pretty looking shot. He definitely got a piece of it and then stung that far pipe.
Couldn't be much different than his earlier goal, which was the tap home on the backdoor quick stick.
He hasn't scored him pretty, but he's got a pair tonight. Big personality in the sport of lacrosse. For Coach Thorpe, 2:35 to go, 16-9 Team USA. Canada put up 16 on USA last night. They've got 16 up on Israel. Still looking for more. There's a nice rip by Gail Thorpe.
Couple for him tonight. He had a pretty successful President's Cup playing with the Akwesasne Bucks, a first-year team that won the Can-Am Championship, got to the final of the President's Cup. You can see the pick by McCardle there, and again, just like Wolf at the other end, McCardle sets one pick, slips off it to set another one as Silberlich tries to slide up. So some great off-ball work by the teammates to set up earlier Bach, and in this case, it's Gail Thorpe with the finish.
Baptiste bodied by Udding. USA in possession, 2:12 to go. And they'll say slow it down. Busick. Kallio right back out there for a shift of offense. That big body down on the crease. Comes up now to try to set a pick for Edwards as we get a few different bodies on the offense here for Team USA. Ranigan out there and Reardon lets one go wide. Last couple pushes for Team Israel.
There are a few things more laissez-faire than a goalie seeing that shot from his forwards ricocheting down the floor just wide of the crease and just watching it as the ball rolls by. There's a penalty coming.
The Team USA through the middle. Shot goes wide. Baptiste is going to touch it. And is Baptiste going to go to the box?
I think it's Busick going. Yeah.
Busick. So Israel, barring a goal here, will finish this game on the man advantage. Minute 34 to go. Down 17-9, outshot 51-36.
Yeah, it was just before what we saw there is Busick coming up with the card cross check.
And they'll fight to the final whistle here.
I think the U.S. has to feel pretty good about the way that they've had a variety of players contributing in this bounce-back win tonight.
Yeah, no Rambo, no Connor Kelly until maybe Tuesday night.
Oh, nice finish by Bach.
Finish one off with a power play goal here. Bach with a couple goals here in this fourth quarter, rather.
Israel obviously is going to be disappointed in the loss. They're going to be wishing they'd done a few things differently, but there are some positives, the way they fought back, and here's some goals from the right-handers as Paul takes a shot and Bach just scoops it up and tucks it home.
They can feel pretty good about the way that they've played tonight, for sure. Score is going to show 17-10, but they've hung with this American team with a lot of professional NLL and MLL and PLL players.
Well, there's a big stretch of 5 straight U.S. goals over the end of the second, beginning of the third period that seemed particularly.
And that was it. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Right? So one big run can change the fate of a game like this and really set yourselves up. And the States got a big 5-goal run that Israel couldn't answer back. And
Other than
That's
that, 5.
Big difference maker right now.
The U.S. didn't score more than 2 in a row at any time.
That's something. So little positives, little things Israel can take away. They've got England next, a very winnable game tomorrow for Israel. USA has Iroquois. As McCardle will finish things off on the power play. They're going to give Kelly another look. They want to get the big veteran a third.
He was not far off his hat trick there.
They're feeding 34 right now. McCardle.
It's going to come back to him.
Back to Kelly. Lining up. McCardle. Back to Kelly again. Putting a hat trick on a T for him.
Right here.
They're going back. Here's the shot. Step it. Kelly takes it and
There it
scores. That one's for the team. The bench likes it. Kelly likes it.
They're obviously enjoying having that veteran on the club. They're so excited for him scoring these goals.
He's out having fun. And watch the shot. This is the prettiest of his 3.
Oh, yeah. Nice fake pass back to McCardle. Towards McCardle. You see it right there, and they just let it fly over the shoulder. Picks a corner.
The big body from Columbus has a hat trick, and the USA up 18-10 with 22.8 seconds to go. Final push here from Team Israel. As Paul runs it into the corner. Winding up from the outside. Shot stopped by Abrams. Inside, spinning, shooting. That one goes wide. And that'll do it. Team USA moves into the win column here at the WILC. They are 1-1. Israel 0-2 with a date against England tomorrow. 18-10 the final. Team USA over Team Israel. And what was one of the more entertaining games we've seen, despite it being an 8-goal deficit at the end of the game. Had some fun tonight, and this was a close game.
Yeah, it really was. I feel like it was closer than the score indicates, but still, Israel's going to be a little disappointed that it was an 8-goal difference. And the U.S., I think, has to feel not overconfident, but feel pretty good about, like we said, the contributions they got from a bunch of different players and just how well they responded whenever Israel did make a push.
Yeah, still not playing perfect lacrosse. That I think is going to give Canada a challenge, or they could play well against the Iroquois, especially without Dougie Jamieson. But they can take solace in that they got a bunch of different guys contributing tonight. It looks like they got a pretty good performance from Goa Abrams. Their defense was a little bit better. So, one step at a time for Team USA. This is a team, unlike a lot of teams in this tournament, that hasn't spent a lot of time together over the last few weeks.
The U.S. came in without really, I think, a solidified starting goalie. I think Abrams was a guy that some people were looking towards. But does this performance, in your mind, I think it does for me, kind of solidify him as, hey, maybe this is the guy we're going with?
I think for sure, especially when you're going tomorrow night against Iroquois, you're going against some of the best offensive players in the world. Abrams is in the NLL. Yeah, he's not a starter, but he's there. And Dave Mather is the incumbent. He was here, so I think maybe they thought they had to give him the shot as the veteran coming in. But this is Abrams' spot to lose right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And boy, they're going to want him to come up big tomorrow, and that's a fun lacrosse game, Brad. So
Resitaritz leads the way with 4 goals for Team USA. Kieran McCardle leads all players in points with 2 goals and 7 assists. Blaze Reardon 1-4 tonight. Gail Thorpe 2-3. Razowitz 1-3. Joel White with a pair. And Anthony Kelly's hat trick to go along with no assists. Just 3 shots on goal. So Kelly 3 for 3.
Wow, perfect. That's why he was waiting to take that last shot. He wanted to make sure he had it perfect.
He didn't want to screw up his save or his shooting percentage in this tournament so far. So
on the other side, Jean-Luc Chetner 3 goals and 2 assists for Israel, and Adam Wolf leading the way in total points with a goal and 5 helpers.
So good night here tonight, night 2 at the WILC. Steven is back tomorrow night for a couple big games. The USA versus... Tomorrow night's the 21st. Israel plays England right here, 4:30. You and Brandon Hassel for that one. And then the big one tomorrow night, USA versus Iroquois right here at 7:30. I will talk to you tomorrow morning right here in the Arena Bowl. Ireland and Serbia, 10:30 West Coast start. That'll be a fun one. Yep. And Sweden, Austria. Those 2 teams looking to get Austria beat Costa Rica this morning, but those are two teams around the same equal playing field, and that'll be a tight game, as will Ireland and Serbia. So we'll get things started tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. right here at the Arena Bowl, day 3. That'll do it for day 2. The USA beats Team Israel 18-10 from the Langley Event Center Arena Bowl. For Steven Stamp, I've been Brad Challoner. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow from the Langley Event Center. This has been the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships on Lax Sports Network and TFSETV.ca. Peace out.